In this video, I will show you how to use Universal QR Code Generator in Unity to easily create QR codes and barcodes with different effects and customization options. Before we start, there are a few important things to know. The generated QR code images are not saved inside the scene and they do not increase the build size. All QR codes and barcodes are generated directly on the target device at runtime. When using this asset, QR codes should be customized in edit mode rather than in play mode. Now let's begin. First, create a new UI image and name it Ticket. Reset its position to the default values. Drag and drop the image you want to use as your ticket into the image component. Then click Set Native Size to match the original image resolution. Next, open the Prefabs folder. Here you will find different QR code and barcode formats. Choose a QR code prefab and drag it as a child of the ticket object. Adjust its position as needed. If you enable the raw image component inside the QR prefab, you will see its container. The QR code or barcode will never go outside this container, and it will automatically scale down if there are width or height limitations. After you finish adjusting the container size, you can disable the raw image again. Now let's customize the QR code. In the text QR input field, enter some data, for example, ticket 1. Here you can select the QR or barcode type and change the QR code color. The corner radius setting controls how rounded the QR corners are. For this example, set it to 20. The quality level slider allows you to choose from very low to high quality. Below the slider, you can see how long the QR code took to generate on your device in seconds. If you do not need a background, enable transparent background. To add an outline, enable the outline option. Here you can control the outline thickness. As you can see, increasing this value makes the outline more visible. Let's keep it set to 20. Next, choose the outline color to match your design. Below that, you can adjust the padding. This controls the space between the QR code and the outline. As you increase the value, you can see the padding being added around the QR code. Let's keep the padding set to 30. Now, let's set the QR code data using a script. Create a new C script called Ticket Sample and attach it to the ticket game object. In the script, reference the sample QR component using a serialized field so it can be assigned from the inspector. In the start function, call setQRData with the value example 1. When the scene starts, the QR code will be generated automatically with this data. This approach is useful when you only need a single QR code controlled from code. Now let's go back to Unity and assign the sample QR reference in the inspector. Drag the QR component into the sample QR field of the script. Once everything is assigned, press play and check that the QR code is generated correctly. If you see the QR code updating with the data from the script, then everything is working as expected. Now that we've confirmed the basic setup works, let's move on to a more advanced example where we generate multiple QR codes sequentially. Next, create a new empty game object in the scene and name it QR Manager. Reset its transform to the default values. Now add the Manager QR script to this game object. This manager is responsible for handling QR generation events. After that, go back and open the ticket sample script again. In this version, we use the same QR object to generate many QR codes one after another. First, define total QR to set how many QR codes you want to generate, for example, 75. In the start function, subscribe to the generated QR event from the QR manager and start the generate QR coroutine. Inside the generate QR coroutine, wait 1 frame before starting. Add a QR index variable to track the current QR number and keep a reference to the sample QR component. Then check if the maximum number of QR codes has been reached. If not, increase the index and generate new data such as ticket_1, ticket_2, and so on. Each QR code is generated only after the previous one finishes. The generated QR_ event is triggered when a QR code completes generation. In this event, check if the generated QR belongs to this script, and if it does, start the coroutine again to generate the next QR code. This ensures that QR codes are generated sequentially without overlap and with stable performance, even for a large number of QR codes. Finally, in the onDestroy function, unsubscribe from the generated QR event and check that the QR Manager instance is not null to avoid errors. Now let's go back to Unity and see how the system generates multiple QR codes. Press play and watch the QR data update automatically, creating each QR code one after another. As you can see, the QR codes are generated sequentially. Thank you for watching.